They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The receiving numbers for Kenny Stills in last week's game. 8 catches, 90 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Green, 39!
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Mayfield on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And incomplete to open things up.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And maybe starting the campaign for another Offensive Player of the Week award in the AFC.
Hey, strike up the band, right? They're going to lead him along, and the band being that offensive line, he's locked into the rhythm of what they're doing up front, and he's definitely off to that great start, a second straight week.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Great 15, great 15. There we go, back.
To throw, it's Wentz. Over the middle, that's caught by Scott. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line.
Here we go. 120.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pick. Up there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, If you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you over-committed.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. John Simon coming on the blitz. He gets... him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Shotgun now for Wentz. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And now let's look at David Johnson. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Kendricks in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Second down, Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Michael Brockers in on the stop. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Wentz to throw on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Wentz. And incomplete here on third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. A first down throw for Mayfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end over the middle. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And Stills over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
All right, here we go.
They go play action. Mayfield trying to lay one up deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and that'll bring up second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here we go now.
A second down throw for Mayfield. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Third down, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded at the 27. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills take. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. They do go for it. It's Wentz. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. How about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Brought in over the middle by Glenn. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Mayfield going for it all. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Ryan Grant with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And, boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
On play action, it's Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And Stills bringing it in. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first. First down. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Grant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Blue landed!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And a pass complete to Ryan Graham. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Mayfield to throw it. Screen play. Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
The quick slant caught, and he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year, and the Bills will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And a catch right side by Evans. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
Now Wentz. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Over the middle, complete. It's Scott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Waiting. Black, come on.
Now Wentz again. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Black. Here we go. 82. 81.
Again, it's Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now Wentz, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
Here we go. Waiting. Great.
Now Wentz, got to have this one. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll hand it off now. Johnson might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go.
They go to Johnson again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because you...
And that is caught. Touchdown.